I went through so much and I voiced out that I need help. त्यति गर्दा गर्दै पनि there was no one out there to provide any sense of support to me भनेर चाहिँ एउटा ego hurt भइरहेको थियो. A lot of negative emotions.
Right.
I had two options. Either I sit down and be sad about it, play a victim role, or channel those energy to actually build something so that no one else has to feel that gap. So यो चाहिँ नेपालको mental health gap छ नि त्यसलाई bridge गर्नको लागि चाहिँ let me use technology, let me build a platform where we can talk more about mental health awareness.
Right.
किनभने पक्कै म मात्र त होइन होला.
Right.
There might be so many other Nepali people all around the world actually who might be feeling the same way. भनिसकेपछि चाहिँ and then I channel those all the negative emotions to build something so positive, just with an intention to serve.
A very warm welcome to a new episode of Ink and Insights. यहाँ सबैलाई स्वागत छ. आज पनि हामीसँग विशेष अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ श्रेया गिरी. श्रेयाजी, welcome to the new episode of Ink and Insights. तपाईलाई स्वागत छ. Thank you very much for the time that you gave to us. श्रेयाजीको बारेमा अलिकति थोरै भन्न चाहन्छु. श्रेयाले मास्टर्स युकेबाट चाहिने इन्टरनेसनल म्यानेजमेन्टमा गर्नुभयो. त्यसै गरी मिडल सेक्सबाट अन्डरग्रेड पनि इन्टरनेसनल म्यानेजमेन्टमा र इन्टरनेसनल बिजनेस म्यानेजमेन्टमा गर्नुभयो र त्यहाँबाट नेपाल फर्केर आएपछि आजको दिनमा उहाँले ह्याप्पी माइन्ड्स डट हेल्थ भन्ने स्टार्टअप द्याट्स वर्किङ अन दि इस्यु अफ मेन्टल हेल्थमा चाहिँ काम गरिरहनु भएको छ र 17-18-20 जना इम्प्लोइ राख्नु भएको छ र करिब करिब 16-17 देशमा आफ्नो सर्भिसेस प्रोभाइड गर्नु भएको छ. श्रेयाजी, यति सानो उमेरमा तपाईले यति ठुलो अचिभमेन्ट गर्नुभएको छ, त्यो सबैको निम्ति तपाईलाई बधाई दिन चाहन्छु र तपाईलाई मेरो शोमा वेलकम गर्न चाहन्छु.
Thank you for having me.
श्रेया, यो तपाईलाई पहिलो पटक यो मेन्टल हेल्थको विषयमा काम गर्नुपर्छ भनेर कहिले र कसरी स्पार्क गर्यो?
This is a very common question I usually get asked. So double COVID start भयो. I was working and studying back in London. That's one place that feels like home to me. But when COVID started, all of a sudden बाहिर जान नपाउने, रुमको रुममै हुन्छ. There's so much negativity and sadness in social media. The true essence of what loneliness feels भन्ने चाहिँ त्यति बेला feel भयो. So बिस्तारै आफ्नै mental health अलिकति decline हुँदै गइसकेपछि when I wanted to speak to a mental health professional for the first time in my life, I reached out to NHS. NHSको wait line was 2 years to speak to a mental health professional. त्यसपछि let me speak to a Nepali mental health professional किनभने मलाई त आफ्नो कुरा राख्नको लागि त नेपालीमै राख्नु पाए भने मन खुलेर कुरा गर्न पाउँछु नि त. But I went on Google to look for so many people. There were so many organizations and freelancing professionals. Reached out to so many of them. WhatsApp, Google, Gmail, Facebook. But weeks went by, nobody got back. I am truly left behind with no support and no one around me. Bunny essence feel voice. I decided to drop down everything because none of this is ever gonna matter. So I just decided to come back. Ego hurt. I went through so much. And I voiced out that I need help. त्यति गर्दा गर्दै पनि there was no one out there to provide any sense of support to me भनेर चाहिँ एउटा ego hurt भइरहेको थियो. A lot of negative emotions.
Right.
I had two options. Either I sit down and be sad about it, play a victim role, or channel those energy to actually build something so that no one else has to feel that gap. So यो चाहिँ नेपालको mental health gap छ नि त्यसलाई bridge गर्नको लागि चाहिँ let me use technology, let me build a platform where we can talk more about mental health awareness.
Right.
किनभने पक्कै म मात्र त होइन होला. There might be so many other Nepali people all around the world actually who might be feeling the same way. भनिसकेपछि चाहिँ and then I channel those all the negative emotions to build something so positive, just with an intention to serve.
So तपाईलाई त्यहाँनिर युकेमा बस्दाखेरि लन्डनमा हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ तपाई what phases that you went through? तपाईलाई केबाट जाँदाखेरि यु रियलाइज द्याट तपाईँलाई यो चाहिँ नि चाहिएको छ, यो हेल्प चाहिएको छ भन्ने फिल भयो?
I am big time workaholic. I love my work.
Mhm.
But for whatever reasons, work felt like a burden.
Mhm.
Sano sano tasks, sano sano projects like them burnout chitoni. I was working for mostly focused with pharmaceutical market research. That day, everything was about COVID, and every day in, day out, doctors, nurses go interaction go basis. Everyone would warn us that things are getting really, really bad.
Mhm.
So alikati एउटा sense of fearness पनि बढ्दै गइरहेको थियो.
Mhm.
त्यसपछि a lot of negative thinking. Actually नै स्टोरमा जाँदाखेरि फ्रोजन सेक्सनमा पनि फ्रोजन फुड बाँकी हुँदैन थियो कि.
Right.
So knowing that if I work so much, then I might not actually have a space to go buy food for myself.
Mhm.
देखि लिएर if I'm really scared, डर लाग्नु त it's a normal feeling, it's a normal emotion. डर लाग्यो भनेर गएर हग गर्न, कुरा गर्नको लागि कोही पनि छैन.
Oh.
My friends were there. I had my own sense of family back in London as well. तर उहाँहरू कोही पनि international student भनेर हुनुहुन्थेन नि त.
Mhm. Mhm.
So मैले कुरा share गर्नको लागि पनि they couldn't exactly empathize. Everyone was going with their
Right.
own turbulences. बिस्तारै a lot of social media consumption, a lot of negative news नै त थियो त्यसमा. Knowing that might this be the last time that I'll speak to my family because you never know what's going to happen next.
Right. So you were on that stage.
I was on that stage. Slowly, I'm a big time foodie. Slowly, I started resenting food. I couldn't sleep. राति 10 मा उठ्यो भने पनि फोन चलाइहाल्ने कि what's the death toll now? कहाँ के भयो त भन्ने. Knowing that I am here by myself, even though my friends and my colleagues were very supportive, knowing that I'm in it by myself, I started to block myself away from all these people that I'd loved dearly.
Right.
So at the end, it just felt like life is nothing but just suffering. And that is not my usual thinking, no?
Right.
So I sat in this feeling, in this darkness, in this very dark space by myself for weeks.
Right.
And at some point, I just was so tired of feeling tired.
Right.
So tired of feeling lonely. And then the realization came up, when this is not me.
Right. So now if you look back at that transition that you went through, अहिले तपाईलाई त्यो ट्रान्जिसन हेर्दाखेरि कस्तो लाग्छ आफैलाई? How do you feel about yourself?
I feel very grateful for everything that I have around me. पहिला नेपालमा त above 18 भइसकेपछि नि पेरेन्ट्ससँग बस्नुपर्छ भन्दाखेरि लाज लागिन्छ नि त बाहिर बस्दाखेरि. I am so grateful that I get to live with my family. They provide food. We all live under the same roof. Nepalma is so close-knit culture with friends and families. It's so easy to make friends as well.
Right.
Everyone is so open and welcoming. It really gave me a different perspective to life. Alikati second life within this lifetime. Those feelings. And now everything else that I get to do and everything else that I have achieved just feels like a blessing over there.
Right. So तपाईलाई यहाँको वातावरण, यहाँको कल्चर, हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ एक किसिमको क्लोज-नेट छ, you think this is really good stuff that will build people's personality in terms of mental health and other issues as well?
Yeah. So we recently ran a Chia Golf session in our office recently, where I was just voicing out to all these participants who were there to talk about their mental health, that I'm so proud to be Nepali. Everything around us has contributed so much that we take care of ourselves. Take an example of UK ko weather. Kaam lagdena, mahina. Kaam na lagera, when you don't have vitamin D in your body, one of the factors that you might get into depression.
Right.
Here we wake up to sunrise every morning.
Absolutely.
Look into our diet. Bahira mostly Western food, frozen food, bread, coffees and such. Dal bhat, achar, tarkari khaira hurkeko. So we have good nutritious diet. We have culture where we pray to sun. We show gratitude to our brothers. Dasai Tihar pani bhayo. Ani last ma gaera faith, hope bhaneko God ma spirituality ma jन्छ नि त. We are blessed with so many festivals.
Right.
The entire universe has blessed us to make sure that we have access to everything so that we have or maintain a good mental health and well-being in general.
Right. So would you agree the way the things are designed here that helps us to grow as a full, healthy individual human being?
100%.
I know.
Yeah.
अनि श्रेया इट्स भेरी इन्ट्रेस्टिङ अहिले चाहिँ तपाईँको यो संस्था जुन छ इट्स स्टार्टअप राइट
Yeah.
सो इट्स अ प्राइभेट कम्पनी एज वेल
Yes.
अनि कसरी काम गर्नुहुन्छ कतिजना हुनुहुन्छ र चाहिँ तपाईँको कति जियोग्राफिकल स्पेसमा तपाईँहरू चाहिँ केटरिङ योर सर्भिसेस
Okay, so we particularly work on three aspects. SDG 3, 4, and 17 भन्छौँ. एउटा चाहिँ we try to raise as much awareness on mental health as possible. So mental health literacy मा work गर्दैछौँ. के भएपछि I'm not mentally okay, के भएपछि do people say I have anxieties भन्ने नै awareness छैन. So mostly through digital platforms, we try to work on building more of mental health awareness. Because now when people know that they're not okay, regardless of wherever you are, regardless of whatever time zone you are in, we provide you with right mental health support.
Right.
So मेरो टिममा चाहिँ almost 15 mental health professionals हुनुहुन्छ. In total, we cater to 65 plus mental health issues. This can be done physically if you can come to our office. We try to bridge the mental health gap through technology, online counseling, telecounseling. I try to advocate it as much as possible. Usually, it's a common question. Online counseling help गर्छ र भन्ने एउटा छ. I sat in for online counseling for 2 years. And we did a market research as well. दुईटै option दिँदा दिँदै पनि 80% of the sample audience went towards online counseling किनभने convenience भयो, flexibility भयो, confidentiality पनि भयो. So third part that we're working on is partnership for well-being. I reach out to organizations like corporate houses, educational institutions, establish a well-being unit, place a well-being counselor in your
to protect institutions, private institutions.
Yes.
Right.
Let your employees focus on their well-being parallelly. So we advocate for that, and we have a handful of really grateful and supportive EAP partners. Say employee assistance program. So we partner with corporates for their well-being of their employees for their employees' well-being. They sponsor the cost. The confidentiality is maintained. You can either come in for individual counseling or it's a group workshop. We cater to more than 20-25 topics in general.
अनि तपाईहरुलाई चाहिँ नि यो काम गर्ने प्रोसेसमा एक लेभलको लर्निङ पनि भयो होला कसरी हाउ डु सी नेपाली सोसाइटीको पर्सेप्सन मेन्टल हेल्थ बारेमा चाहिँ कस्तो देख्नुहुन्छ
Before starting, I will be honest, I didn't do research. As for what everyone around me said, it's a heavily stigmatized topic.
Right.
But since you've just returned from London, do it for a while. It was just a 3 months project because I'm a licensed project manager from the UK.
Okay.
I am good at coming up with projects, building it, executing it. So this wasn't supposed to be a company. It was supposed to be a project.
Right.
But when I started with almost zero marketing, through internal word of references and such, I was catering to more than 25 clients in 1 month through one therapist.
Okay.
भन्नाको मतलब बाहिर चाहिँ सबैजनाले यस्तो होइन यस्तो हो तातो पानी खाऊ सँगै बस राम्ररी सुत ठिक भइहाल्छ नि भनिन्छ नि त but deep down a lot of people are just waiting for a moment कि कसैले encourage गरिदियो पनि let me get the professional help भनेर so yes the stigma is there but if you narrow it down give some space to people there are a lot of people who are actually looking to support looking for professional support for their mental health
त्यो यो मेन्टल हेल्थसँग रिलेटेड आफ्नो इश्यूज राख्ने बित्तिकै तपाईलाई एक लेभलको बक्सिङ जुन हुन्छ नि द वे द सोसाइटी पर्सिभ यु त्यसले चाहिँ तपाईको मान्छेलाई अगाडि आउन चाहिँ ब्लक गरिरहेको हुन्छ पछिल्लो समयमा त्यस्तो अलिकति धेरै केसेसहरू जुन तपाईले भन्नुभयो मान्छे त्यसको अर्थ चाहिँ नि सोसाइटी समाज खोल्दैछ दे वुड वान्ट टु कम एन्ड शेयर दोज इश्यूज विथ यु कस्तो नेचरको चाहिँ प्रब्लम देख्नुहुन्छ तपाईले मेन्टल हेल्थमा हामी कहाँ
मोस्टली कर्पोरेट सेटिङबाट जति पनि इम्प्लोइजहरु आउनुहुन्छ सपोर्टका लागि a lot of the mental health issues is narrowed down to assertiveness नाइ भन्न नसक्ने आफ्नो कुरा राख्न नसक्ने
जे पनि दिया छ त्यो
इन्टरनलाइज गरेर बटल अप गर्दाखेरि सो कसैले नानो यो गर्दियो भने नाइ भन्न सकिरहेको हुँदैन तर चित्त दुख्छ मनमा के कुरा गर्न मन लागिरहेको आफ्नो पनि त लाइफ छ प्रायोरिटी छ तर फ्यामिलीले केही भन्दियो गर्नै पर्यो बट आई ह्याड टु मिस out on something else. They said, maybe I didn't want to go abroad for studies. Parental issues ले गर्दा पनि त गएको हुन सक्छ नि त कति बेरैजना बाहिर गयो लाइफ इज रियली डिफिकल्ट अब्रॉड अब आउनै मन थिएन मम्मीको मन राख्दिनको लागि आइहालेँ नाउ आइम हियर भन्दाखेरि द्याट बिल्ड्स अप अन अ लट अफ इस्युज के भर्बलाइज गर्न नसक्दाखेरि
हामी हत्तपत्त हामी नेपालीहरू केही कुरालाई पनि नाइ भन्दैन हैन जे पनि हुन्छ भन्दै हाल्छ हैन
हुन्छ भन्न सिकाइन्छ नाइ सुन्न सिकाइन्छ नाइ भन्न चाहिँ सिकाइएन कहिले पनि so the assertiveness communication ma भयो कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ I think recently I read it somewhere it's a blessing to learn how to disappoint others भनेर के
right nice
you should know how to say no you should know how to disappoint other people for the sake of your own sanity
right
at the same time so यस्तो कुराहरुले चाहिँ मोस्टली चाहिँ कमन ग्राउन्ड भनेको कम्युनिकेसन इश्यूज नै हुन्छ त्यसपछि रिलेशनशिप इश्यूज वर्क प्लेसमा होस् आफ्नो फ्यामिली लाइफमा होस् सोशल सर्कलमा होस् तर अहिलेको युथमा कमन भनेको चाहिँ एंजाइटी र ओभर थिंकिङ
त्यो भनेको कुन ब्र्याकेटसम्मको एज ग्रुपको मान्छेहरुमा
मोस्टली अब हामीले केटर गर्ने भनेकै 18 प्लस हो तर युजुअल एंजाइटी केसेसहरु यस्तो बडी देखिने चाहिँ फ्रम एज अफ 12 टु अराउन्ड 18 को बीचमा चाहिँ एंजाइटी इज कमन इश्यूज
अनि त्यो के बढिरहेछ बढेको स्थिति हो
हजुर
सो व्हाट आर द रिजन्स बिहाइन्ड इट
You would have to ask a therapist for that. Right. So we advocate for confidential therapy support. Right. So the issues I said. So unless the client is an intention to harm themselves or others, none of the insights are usually shared. Right. So we can only talk on a surface level. Therapists are some kura garदाखेरि पनि नभए everything is super confidential for a reason.
Right. So तपाईले नेपालको चाहिँ अहिले यो मेन्टल हेल्थको प्रब्लम चाहिँ के कतिको म्याग्निफाइड भएको छ इन द सेन्स दैट कतिको प्रेभलेन्ट छ भन्नु खोजे इन टर्म्स अफ पर्सेन्टाइल एन्ड अल दिस स्टफ्स अरु चीजको दाजोमा
Before COVID, MOHP ले चाहिँ almost 30 to 40% of Nepalese might be suffering with mental health issues भनेर एउटा tentative bracket दिनुभएको थियो त्यसपछि updated response चाहिँ आइसकेको छैन but now we are in a global mental health pandemic since the COVID पहिला pandemic भयो we were on a lockdown for almost 1 to 2 years त्यसपछि अहिले market financial crisis छ aftermath of COVID गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ a lot of issues, not just for Nepali living in abroad, but also for Nepal people living outside of Nepal. So अहिले चाहिँ Happy Minds is working across 17 nations for a reason. Our economy is run by remittance, frankly speaking. So जति पनि नेपालीहरु बाहिर जानु भएको छ काम गरेर आफ्नो पैसा पठाउँदाखेरि इकोनोमी रन भइरहेको छ भने बाहिर बस्दाखेरिको कल्चर चाहिँ you are not gonna find a doctor who's gonna speak your language.
Sure.
So we have a lot of clients in South Korea, UAE, Japan, migrant workers who suffer alone. Not that khana milcha, no basa milcha, sathi banauna garo, cultural differences. So malai garo bhayo bhane room bhitra gumsida they are severe depression. A lot of them are suicidal as well. World body ne I think UKK magazine le ne Guardian le ne mention garnu bhako tho ki Nepal ko migrant workers ma suicide rate high cha. It's alarming bhane it made it to a headline.
Right.
Almost 14 to 17% जो चाहिँ बाहिर जानुहुन्छ they return back in boxes. भनेपछि I come from a similar background because बाहिर बसेर त्यो essence feel गरेँ नि त मैले. So now what I have done is हजुर बाहिर बसे पनि even though if you can't speak to a local doctor, speak to the Nepali therapist through online. But I'm trying to bridge that gap. Necessarily mental health भन्दा बित्तिकै medicine नचलाउने हुँदैन. So we have to make sure that there is no physical illness behind the symptoms that you're trying to expose. हजुरले एकदमै मुटु भर्के anxiety भयो भनेर आउनुभयो भने we request you to go to get your heart checked first.
Right.
Physical symptoms सबै ठीक छ भने मात्र will look into and give you the further support. भने कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ parallelly जान्छ. So कहिलेकाहीँ physical health, psychiatrist support, medicine चलाउनको लागि हामी त जान मिल्दैन. So you will have to get there as well. So तर जति पार्टमा चाहिँ सक्छौ mental health पार्टमा let us support you भनेर चाहिँ we try to bridge that gap through mental health online counseling अहिले चाहिँ
अनि बाहिर जानु भएको मानिसहरु चाहिँ बडी चाहिँ तपाईहरुले के भेट्नु भएको छ I mean in general चाहिँ तपाईहरुको इश्यूज के देखिन्छ
depression and loneliness mostly again, relating to my story,
Right.
I think it's a privilege that I got to return back to Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone who lives abroad is liking their life there.
Right.
Yes, social media, it's glorified.
Uh-huh.
Everyone is traveling all the time, earning so much money,
Uh-huh.
living the best life. But behind the camera, I'll give you the first-hand insight. Life is really difficult out
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But also that almost more than half of Nepalese living abroad, they are not happy
Mm-hmm.
living abroad.
Right.
But just the realization हुँदैमा उठेर आउन त सकिँदैन नि त
सक्ने स्थिति छैन।
छैन.
हो।
There's so many struggles and commitments that you have there.
Mm.
Plus यहाँ पनि त पुऱ्याउनु छ गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मन यहाँ भए पनि उनीहरू चाहिँ उतै हुँदाखेरि नै they have a lot of mental health issues for the similar reasons as well.
राइट राइट सो त्यो हेर्दाखेरि अनि अहिलेको जुन चाहिँ ट्राजेक्टरी हामी हेर्छौँ यहाँबाट धेरै मान्छेहरू पनि गइरहनु भएको स्थिति छ मेन्टल हेल्थ चाहिँ पेन्डेमिकको रूपमा नै ग्लोबली देखिएको छ आउँदो दिनहरूमा तपाईँ चाहिँ कति एक्सप्यान्ड गर्न चाहन्छु हाउ डु वान्ट टु कन्ट्रिब्युट यसलाई चाहिँ कसरी अगाडि लिएर जान चाहनुहुन्छ तपाईँको कम्पनीलाई
That's a really nice question. So I don't think there is a proper system yet to give a proper mental health support to the Nepali migrant workers living abroad. अहिले मैले जति पनि काम गरिरहेको छु we are across UK, UAE देखि लिएर जापान, साउथ कोरिया, जर्मनी सबै ठाउँमा चाहिँ छौँ तर individual basisमा छ नि त अहिले. So I want to create a proper systematic platform where people don't have to linger around thinking म कहाँ जाउँ भनेर के.
राइट
सो घरबाट बाहिर भए पनि मेरो केयर गर्नको लागि मलाई चाहिएपछि चाहिँ there is something है भन्ने एउटा त्यो भरोसा दिन्छ नि जुन त्यो चाहिँ I want to be that essence of भरोसा the emotions जुन चाहिँ connectivity छ नि that I want happy minds to be that.
राइट सो यसमा चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टसँग पनि केही कुरा भएको छ इज देयर एनी पोसिबिलिटी यु
Not yet.
collaboration with the
Not
government?
yet, no. I have been trying to reach out to a lot of other institutions, including the government. Some sort of level of discussions are there, but Nepal भित्रै त system proper छैन mental health regulate गर्नको लागि भने that's like 3 steps forward, 4 steps further. So यहाँ पनि मैले जति नै काम गरेँ EAP भनेर we have to have a lot of system and compliances in place.
Right.
नेपालको रेगुलेसनमा हेर्दाखेरि खासै केही पनि छैन. So when I used to work for a market research industry back in the UK, GDPR, PII भनेर there were so many other compliance. So they compliance यता adapt गरेको भए चाहिँ there's some sort of system in place to at least be working with corporates and INGOs. तर अब त्यो लेभलमा गर्नको लागि पनि there has to be some system in place. And that's something I'm looking into. I'm doing a lot of research, a lot of meeting and advising. Seeking from a lot of people.
Right.
The government side, but at this point, I don't even seek for proper support.
Right. Right.
सक्नुहुन्छ भने पहिला देशकै लागि focus just to Nepali market support गरिदिनु भयो भने that would be great.
Right.
त्यसपछि हजुरले migrant workers को system को लागि हेरिदिनु भयो भने that would be amazing.
Right.
तर मेरो expectations मा I've give up. It's very harsh to say it, but that's what the reality has been so far.
अनि तपाईँ आफैले चाहिँ यो काम सुरु गर्दाखेरि हाउ हेज बिन द रेस्पोन्स इन टर्म्स अफ लुकिङ एट द वे द वर्क द्याट यु हेभ डिसाइडेड टु क्यारी आउट तपाईँलाई नै चाहिँ नि कस्तो किसिमको केही अब्स्टेकल्सहरू थियो कि हाउ डिड यु ओभरकम द्याट
Initially, I didn't know what was I doing. I don't come from the healthcare industry. So exactly के गर्ने कसरी गर्ने चाहिँ test out गर्दै नै थिएँ. So I decided to look into mental healthcare marketing. Healthcare पनि त marketing गर्नु पर्यो. I get a lot of backlash that I've somehow commercialized mental health भनेर. But hey, as long as the message is being driven to the people, I'm fine with that tag. So I threw in an ad on a media post that got our page to scale up from like 0 followers to 3,000, 4,000 followers in less than 12 hours.
Right.
हाम्रो वेबसाइटमा फर्म भरेर I need support भनेर what kind of support inquiry form थियो जुनमा चाहिँ less than 12 hours or more than 800 inquiries आयो कि the website crashed.
Oh my goodness.
त्यही भएर भन्छु when you say mental health stigma छ भनेर yes stigma छ तर deep down अलिकति space दिनुस् I think people will come around.
Right.
I see that for a reason. So since then, I'm still trying to figure out what is the right way to market about a mental health care platform. Because there's no do's and don'ts as per se.
Right.
So explore गर्दा गर्दाखेरि जाँदाखेरि might have done something right that in less than 2 years we have served to more than 45,000 Nepali people
Right.
across 17 nations. This is direct impact. Parallelly, हामीले awareness भनेर we throw in a lot of goofy videos, impactful videos. We make public statements, publicमा केही भइरहेको छ भने this is the mental health impact of when you say things like this, why somebody does things like this भनेर.
Right.
So त्यसको impact त छँदैछ त direct impact पर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ through counseling, workshop, awareness, the 45,000 employees ले जाँदाखेरि it is a very overwhelming feeling. म पनि त mental health issues भएको भएर यहाँ आइपुगेको हो. Parallelly, there are a lot of self-harm activities, cases that gets flagged up into the organization. And in knowing that I've been through that phase, like I say, overly empathize garna पुग्दाखेरि again going back to the same phase, relapse त हुन्छ नि त. There's so much suffering in the world. भन्ने हुन्छ. तर अब चाहिँ I feel a little empowered. I have a platform that I can actually do something about it now.
Exactly.
भनेर चाहिँ somehow enrolling into different platforms, awards को platform हुन्छ कि incubation programs हुन्छ कि TV interviews हुन्छ कि blogs, articles हुन्छ. I try to talk as much about it.
Right, right. And the response has been
It has been
good.
great so far. Yeah.
Right. अनि श्रेयाले यो चाहिँ तपाईँको when you started you had your own experiences. अहिले over a period of time एक लेभलको achievement र तपाईँको company पनि I think at the South Asian level it was recognized होइन के थियो त्यो?
So it was SARC Startup Awards. So नेपालबाट चाहिँ best newcomer भनेर we were recognized as that within first year of establishing the organization.
Right, right. अनि त्यसले अर्को एक लेभलको recognition दियो तपाईँहरूलाई. So where do you see yourself down the line in next 10 years time?
10 years is a very long time to anticipate about, but overall, जसरी हामीले केही कुरा जानेन बुझेन भने search engine गरेरमा गएर हेर्नुस् भन्दैनौ नि. We just say Google it.
Right.
It's a home word to a lot of people around the world. I know it's a long shot, but nothing that you can't achieve if you put your mind and heart to it. So I want happy minds to be a home word. When it comes to mental health, when it comes to well-being, I want us to be so approachable and so out there among all the Nepalese around the world that anytime anyone is confused, feeling lonely, under a crisis, going through something, let happy minds be a home word.
Right. That's where you want to see.
Yes.
Shreya, तपाईँले time दिनुभयो, तपाईँले यति राम्रो काम गरिरहनु भएको छ. We would like to thank you. तपाईँलाई आभार र धन्यवाद भन्न चाहन्छौँ. You are doing phenomenal job. Continue to do that and keep inspiring us, keep inspiring our society.
Thank you.
And we wish you good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your platform and actually advocating about mental health along with.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine, Shreya.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.